Hi, I'm Mia.
Hi, I'm Amber.
We live in Penley.
We've made a map and we want to show you around our village.
Come on, let's show you the map. Oh look, there's my house. There's my school.
Yes, and there's the village shop.
There's our school. Let's go and see what they're doing.
Florida High.
This is Wayland Florida.
Now, next month, our school is going to be 200 years old. Think about the things that you would like to find out what this school was like 200 years ago. So with your talking partner, have a little chat, and in a moment I'm going to ask you to tell me.
200 years ago, that's a long time. I know, Macy. What do you think? Do you think they had a whiteboard? I don't think so. I wonder if their uniform was green. Do you think they played games? Like stuck in the mud? I wonder what happens if you were naughty. I don't know. We would like to know what the children did at playtime. Me and Amber wanted to know what happened to naughty children. What did they wear at school? What did the teachers write on?
Oh, there's some really good questions there. I wonder how we can find out the answers.
You can look in books. What about using the internet? Oh!
Let's go see Mrs. Houston. She knows everything.
Great idea, come on. Penley, where people are friendly. Hello, Mrs. Houston.
Did you want to ask me some questions?
Yes. Can you tell us what this school would have been like 200 years ago?
Well, to start with, there were only 2 classrooms, and they were the rooms that are underneath the thatched roof in the older part of the building. And in those 2 classrooms would have been about 150 children, so you can imagine it was quite a squash. No interactive whiteboards, of course, in those days. The teacher would probably write on a blackboard on an easel, and the children would have to write on pieces of slate.
Wow. What did people wear, Mrs. Houston?
Well, in those days, they didn't have a school uniform, so the girls would wear long dresses with white pinafores over the top, and then the boys would wear quite like a suit, really, a waistcoat and a jacket and long trousers.
So what if you were naughty at school? What would happen?
Oh, you wouldn't want to be naughty in those days, because the headmaster would be very strict. So if somebody was naughty, he had in the corner of his classroom a cane, and they would be smacked with the cane for doing something wrong. Wasn't very nice in those days, was it?
That sounds awful.
I'm glad I didn't go to school 200 years ago.
They did have fun sometimes. When they went out to play, they'd be able to play hopscotch and marbles and I think conkers and skipping. The girls used to love skipping games.
Oh, wow.
Why don't we walk over to the church? I've got to go and see Vicar Lewis now. I expect he can tell us all sorts of stories about St Mary Magdalene Church and its history.
Hi, can you tell us your name, please?
Hi, I'm David Lewis and I'm the Vicar of Penley.
Can you tell us about your job as a vicar?
Well, I do services on a Sunday because I have free churches, so I do free services on a Sunday. I do weddings, and I really love weddings because everybody's so happy. I do baptisms, christenings. I do funerals, which aren't so nice, but I like helping people.
What makes the people of Penley special?
The most special thing about Penley is the people, because they're really, really lovely people. And it's been a privilege being a vicar here. We've made many friends amongst the people. But I also love the countryside around here, because it's really, really beautiful countryside. And I love the history of Penley with its Polish history. So that makes it a really, really special place.
Can you tell us a little bit about the church?
Well, this church actually isn't the first church that was built here. There were 4 churches that have been built here, and the first one was back in 1500 and something, which is a long, long time ago. So this is the 4th church, and this church was built, or began to be built, in 1899, which is a long, long time ago. And so it's over 100 years old, this church. Just think of all the people who have come in to this church over 100 years. How many people have come in? So it's really, really special building.
What else do you know about Penley?
Well, during the Second World War, there used to be a camp here, just down the road, and lots of Polish people came to live in Penley. And there's a special section in the graveyard outside the church where Polish people have been buried after they've died. And even today, there's some Polish people who are buried in the churchyard today. They're buried today.
After the Second World War, the Prime Minister at the time, Winston Churchill, ordered the making of 3 large Polish hospitals around Britain to help and to say thank you to all the soldiers of Poland who were injured when helping us fight in the war. Penley was chosen as a site for one of the hospitals as it was a good location. Did you know that Mrs. Speakman and Mrs. Swalinska used to work there?
Ooh, let's go and find them.
Yes, come on. Hello, Mrs. Spinster. Hello, Mrs. Speakman.
When was the Polish hospital built?
Well, before it was a Polish hospital, it was an American hospital. So it was built about 1940, I should think. And I would think it would take quite a while because it was a very, very big hospital.
What jobs did you do at the Polish hospital?
We were nurses, both of us, mainly on the night shift we worked.
Yes.
But, we have both worked on days as well. We looked after the patients, you know.
What was it like working in the Polish hospital?
It was lovely. It was really, really nice. Everybody was nice and the patients were lovely. The only difficult thing was being able to talk to them because for English people, Polish is quite hard. But we soon learned little bits, the important bits. But it was a very, very hard language to learn, really.
How many old soldiers were there?
When I first went there, there were 128, I think. There were 7 wards and we had 18 on a ward, but one ward was much smaller.
And there were side wards, about 3 side wards with one patient in each. And apart from that, there'd be about 20, like 10 down each side of a long ward.
What did the old soldiers think about Penley?
Well, I think they quite liked it, didn't they? Because it was a little community in itself. You know, they didn't mix a lot because they had absolutely everything they needed. Theatre, shop, everything, wasn't there?
Yes.
What is your fondest memory?
Oh,
Wasn't it?
Christmas.
Yes.
I always remember the first Christmas that I went there. We had the most enormous Christmas tree in the middle, a real one, in the middle of the ward. We had decorations everywhere and it was absolutely beautiful. And at Easter was the most important time of all to the Polish people. Easter was their great festival, wasn't it?
Yes.
And each ward would compete for a sort of scene. Oh gosh, and they were absolutely magnificent.
Another thing they used to have, and you mentioned celebration, when the Llangollen Eisteddfod was on, every year they used to have dancers and singers who would come to perform from Poland, and they'd come and perform for the patients.
Yes.
Yes, that was nice too.
Wow, we've learnt so much about our village.
Lots of important things have happened in Penley.
We hope you
enjoyed it too. Bye! 200 years ago, the children went to school. They wrote on slate to joke and never broke the rules. It was so strict and naughty, children got the cane. skipping game.